Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of HCAM Sports Talk. Tom Nappy here. In just a moment, we'll have Andy Barron and Jared Keene and possibly Steve Watson join us. But right now, here are the latest Hiller happenings. On Monday, October 16th, Hiller girls volleyball hosted Medfield. Matt Clancy was on the call.
You can clean things up here. And Sophia just gets it over. Adriana to Gabby. Sophia just pops it over. Controlled there by Brodeur. There's the set. Oh, and the setter dump over. A really heads-up play by Kayla Hanna. She's one of their setters, and that will conclude set number one. Gabby back to serve. Nice serve. Medfield gonna have to send one over. Sienna, Gabby. Elsa takes a swing. Sienna got to it. Another set coming. It's gonna be really tough. And Elsa adjusts. It just gets over. It just gets over, and the Hillers take set number two. Serve, number 19. Almost a foot fault. Sienna controlled over to Elsa. Big swing. Another nice block by Medfield. Gabby gonna go back to Elsa. Tough set. Elsa adjusts. Medfield keeps it alive. Nice swing over by Larkin. Hopkins keeps it alive. Back row hit Adriana. That's long. Medfield will take the third set. 25-15. 24-23 here in the fourth set. Shoot a serve. Coming over. Adriana controls. Gabby. Sienna just has to get there. Medfield's gonna set one up. It's going to be tough for Koch. She punches it over. Nice save by Gabby. Adriana. It's Cammie who has to punch it over. Oh, and Cammie touched it. Koch hit it over. It was going to go out, and Cammie touched it.
The Hillers fall to a very good Medfield team, 3-1. The Hillers fell to 11-3, but improved to 12-3 with a road win over Holliston on Wednesday, October 18th. On Tuesday, October 17th, Hiller Boys Soccer hosted Ashland.
Into the box. And a shot, and it's in, and it's Guerin! Jake Guerin rips the shot in! What a beauty. Guerin had all kinds of power on that shot. You weren't stopping that fireball. Assist goes on for Lake. Goal goes to Guerin. 1-0 Hillers at 14-14 left to go in the first half.
It was a 1-0 Hiller lead heading into the second half.
For the chip into the box. That shot deflected. There's a shot and it's in! Victor Andrade pops it in for Ashland. We've seen all kinds of back and forth momentum shifts. And the Hillers starting to win the possession battle a little bit in the last few minutes, and they have a throw in here. Philo on the entry into the box. Header in! Guerin! He does it again! His second goal of the game! He was just waiting along the edge of the net and just headed it right in. What a beauty.
Hillers take the win 2-1 and improve to 9-2-3. Ashland falls to 9-4-1. On Wednesday, October 18th, Hiller Field Hockey hosted Medfield. It was a scoreless game heading into the third quarter.
Attempted shot by Fowler diverted towards the shooter circle. Takes it, deflected. Good save there by the goalie. And it's put in by Perloff. Beauty of a shot there from up top, and the Hillers make it 1-0.
Hillers led 1-0 heading into the final 15 minutes.
Here goes Ava Thompson approaching. Into the box. Kane, and it's put in. Perloff going to try to rush up the field. 10 seconds. Closing in, Watathatri, and it is put in! How about that? The buzzer beater! Unbelievable!
Abby Burke nets the game winner off a tremendous pass from Suniti Watathatri at the last possible second, and the Hillers pull off the 2-1 win and walk off to improve to 10-3-2. Medfield falls to 5-7-2. On Thursday, October 19th, Hiller girls soccer celebrated senior night prior to their game with Norwood. You can view the full ceremony on the game broadcast. Hillers got things rolling in the first half.
And it's in with the Anna Scalora.
Great job, Anna Scalora. Super unselfish play of her. She had that defender one-on-one, but instead she passes it into the middle. Her teammate gets fouled, and instead of Skiba saying, Georgie, take it, he gives it to Anna Scalora, which is her first goal of the season coming on senior night. How could you write a better script?
Sends it back and now deflected over to DuPont. Georgie in the box, takes it, 2-0.
Yeah, Georgie Clark's not going to miss from there. That was a gorgeous, gorgeous pass from Joe DuPont. Saw the through ball. Georgie collects it, puts it far post. There's not a lot you can do at that range with her up on the ball.
Sends it up. Recupero flying up the field. Here she goes into the box, and she'll take it with ease.
It was a 3-0 Hiller lead heading into the second half.
And a good corner there. Johnson pops it in. Count it.
You know, it was a valiant attempt from goalkeeper Trisha Wachowski, but there's Steph Johnson waiting for that putback, and it's just a duck sitting there.
Sends it up. Georgie approaching. Georgie takes it in, takes the shot with ease.
Yeah, that defender just tried to throw a body on her, and Georgie wasn't having it. She held her spot.
It's good you can get them all some good experience. Johnson.
What a pass.
Great pass. Threads the needle.
pass.
Recupero to DuPont. DuPont to the net. Count it.
Good grief, was that beautiful. Steph Johnson dribbling in open space. Seeing Georgie Clark, she put that pass in the only spot it could be, on a dime. And then Georgie, instead of taking the shot, which you know she'll finish there, looks at her buddy across and says, Joe, you don't have enough goals yet this year, so I'm going to give you one.
Hillers took the dominant win by a final of 9-1. Hillers improved to 15 wins and no losses on the season. Hopkinton has 3 regular season games left, including the final 2 games at their home turf. Following Hiller girls soccer senior night, the field hockey team took on 2022 state champion Longmeadow. It was a scoreless game heading into the second quarter.
And locked, and it's popped in. And it was deflected in off of Lily Anderson. So the Hillers are going to strike first.
Hillers led 1-0 heading into the third quarter.
That shot deflected, still in the box. And it'll go Hillers' way. Nice win by Suniti Watathatri.
Despite some good shots and pressure, it remained a 1-0 Hiller lead heading into the fourth quarter.
Sent in. Up top. That shot deflected by Kane. And it's wide. And the Hillers are going to hang on.
The Hillers hung on and ended up taking the win by a final of 1-0. The Hillers improved to 11-3-2, heading into their final 2 games, which will be road games. Hopkinton field hockey will be in the playoffs, and hopefully will get some home games. Hiller girls volleyball also battled Algonquin on Thursday. Steve Sweetapple and Matt Clancy on the call.
Wow. Nice dig by keeper.
Right, Abby. Adriana blocked. Macaulay's there. Arcano. Sienna, first ball. Oh, that's it.
man.
Algonquin takes the third set, 25-18 for a 3-0 sweep of the Hillers.
Algonquin took the win via sweep. Hillers fall to 12-4. Algonquin improved to 14-3. The playoff-bound Hillers will finish up their regular season on the road. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this segment of HCAM Sports Talk. Tom Nappy here, and we are joined right now by Andy Barron and Jared Keene, HCAM contributors. Guys, how are you?
Good, Tom. How are you? Good, Jared. How you doing, Jared?
Well, Tom. How's it
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, and
going, guys?
may or may not have Steve Watson with us today, but the New England Patriots shocking the world, taking down the Buffalo Bills out of absolutely nowhere. Here I am thinking we'll be coming on today's show to bash New England more and talk about how they aren't going anywhere, but then they go and beat a playoff caliber Buffalo Bills team in shocking fashion. Where has this Patriots team been all season? No, seriously, where? It's unbelievable. They were absolutely horrid the last 3-4 weeks, or pretty much most of the season. I'd say maybe the first 2 weeks of the season they played somewhat decent. And then they were absolutely horrible the last 3-4 weeks. And now they play the Buffalo Bills, and they look fantastic. There was some great offense, great defense. All facets of the game looked very good. And they had to be very good to pull out this win. But what a surprise. What's your reaction, Andy?
Well, surprised. You kind of took the words right out of my mouth there. I thought the Patriots had no chance to win this game, and I honestly can't remember the last time that the Patriots were supposed to win a game that they weren't supposed to win. It's been a long, long time, if that makes any sense. Nobody picked them to win this game, but I give them credit. They won, and I think there were some bright spots. One, Demario Douglas. This guy's good. He's got some talent. I've been really impressed. He makes some good moves on the field, and he's got a quick burst of speed when he catches that ball. Kendrick Bourne, despite the fumble, he's their best receiver right now. There's no doubt about it. He makes big plays for this team. He runs good routes. I was impressed with him. And how about Pharaoh Brown? Continues to make big plays. The Patriots tight ends were a huge factor in this game. Finally, Mike Gesicki catching the game-winning touchdown. Hunter Henry had some good catches. And I got to give Mac Jones credit. He had his best game of the season, no doubt about it. But
Best game of the season. It might have been the best game of his career.
it's up there for sure. But didn't you still feel like they almost gave the game away? Because they almost did. Like, that's
Well,
not.
They almost did, but they didn't.
True.
They finally didn't give the game away. They pulled it off.
Yep, they did. But it certainly looked like they were, because then Bourne fumbles, and you're like, oh, here we go again. You just get that sinking feeling, and you're waiting for Mac Jones to make the mistake, and he didn't. He came close a couple of times, but he didn't.
Right.
But Tom, you know what? I think this says more about the Bills than it does the Patriots. Here's why. Nobody gave the Patriots a chance to win this game. I think that Bills team's in trouble. They do not look good. I think Sean McDermott's on the hot seat. And you know what? I also felt this way too. Josh Allen's never taken you to the promised land. He's not going to get you there. He's good, but he's never going to be great.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't seem like it. But I have to disagree with you a little bit. I think this says a lot about this Patriots team. We all thought that they were checked out, and that it was just going to be they're going to be fighting for the top pick in next year's draft, and they were going to finish at 1-16, 2-15. I think this win shows that despite the fact that they had a very bad start, a 1-5 start, they are not checked out, and they have potential to battle and potential to beat just about anybody. If they play like they did in that Buffalo Bills game, they can compete with anybody in the league. Mac Jones finally had a game where he didn't throw an interception. I think that was probably the biggest key of the game for the Patriots. He went 25 for 30, 272 yards, and threw for 2 touchdowns. And it was a good, well-rounded performance. The running backs chipped in when you needed them. Elliott had a big touchdown, and he rushed for 31 yards. Stevenson had 34 yards. And your 2 biggest receivers, Kendrick Bourne, 4 receptions, 63 yards. And Demario Davis, that's a guy I look forward to seeing a whole lot more. I'm sure they're going to keep him very much involved with the offense. 4 receptions for 54 yards. So good, well-rounded performance. And Farrell Brown, another guy who had 2 huge catches, 2 receptions, 51 yards. And don't forget about Ramondre's receiving ability as well. He also had 6 receptions for 51 yards. They spread him out a good amount. And the defense, despite the injuries, was absolutely fantastic. Jabril Peppers, maybe your defensive player of the game. 3 tackles, 4 assists, an interception.
He hits.
Yes.
He hits.
This was just a solid, well-rounded performance. And if they could play like this every week, they could fight their way back into the mix.
But
now,
that's a big if. That's a big if.
I don't know yet.
It's a big if. I need to see more.
Is.
Because you know what? Let me real quick. You know what's gonna irritate me though? If they do fight their way back into us, that Raiders game, that they let that slip away. Because if you're 3-4, well, that's a big difference than 2-5. So they're pretty much in a must-win situation here going forward. They cannot afford to lose more games, and you know how much of a horror show it is for this team in Miami. Let's see how they do this weekend. It's going to tell a lot.
This game is huge versus Miami now. You win this, you're right back in the race, and you're in there. You lose this, you get crushed. Well, maybe not so much. But even if they do lose, if they're at least competitive, that'll give me some hope going forward because they have a relatively easy schedule after the Miami game. They have very beatable opponents after that game. So let's see if they can be competitive down in Miami. I think that'll be a huge test. Now that we got Jared back, Jared, what's your reaction to Sunday's Patriots win over Buffalo?
Well, first off, sorry about the internet issues here. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's nice to see them beat a legitimate team. Obviously, Buffalo maybe took a step back. Josh Allen clearly didn't look right. That throw on the pick was horrendous. And Andy said in the group text, he just did not look right. He kind of got it going. Obviously, they fought their way back. And actually, I fully expected them to lose after Buffalo came back in the fourth quarter. But, I mean, for the most part, that's obviously the best performance of the season, which doesn't say much. I definitely need to see more, like Andy. There were some good pieces. DeMario Douglas is going to be legit. Kendrick Bourne looked really good. Mac had a decent game. So yeah, I mean, take what you want out of that for sure. And obviously, beating a team like that is massive, can do massive for your confidence. But again, next week is going to be huge. I don't know if we can beat this Miami team. I think they have too much speed. But again, like you said, after that, it's what? Colts? No, it's Commanders, Colts, Giants.
And you have a bye week.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. Those teams stink. Although, what do we put us at? So, again, I need to see more, but this is, I think, a decent start at least.
Certainly is. And who knows? Maybe this is the big turning around point we've all been waiting for. Maybe this is the emergence of Mac Jones finally. But it's one game, and
He made some good throws. He made some big time throws.
he did.
That throw to Mario Douglas late in the game was huge.
Was.
He made a few just real locked in throws to throw to Hunter Henry. Yeah, I mean,
Well, you know what made a
again, I
huge
think he
difference?
said it. He actually had some time to throw the ball.
Yes.
You know, he actually.
You took
Having
the thought
Michael
right out of
Onwenu
my
back
head.
was big. Cole Strange being back was big. And David Andrews had a really good game. He was pushing people back on that Buffalo.
Yep.
He's really good. He is clearly the leader of that offensive line. No doubt about it.
Jared, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
All right.
Go
Well,
for it.
yeah, the O-line stepped up, and he actually had time to throw. That was a huge difference, and hopefully that trend will continue. They made some adjustments on that O-line to give him some more time, and the adjustments they made worked. So I think that might have been the best game of Mac Jones's career. I thought some of the throws he made were unbelievable. I didn't even know he had it in him. And quite frankly, that might have been the one of the best games of Belichick's career post Brady.
Well, look who it is.
And it looks like Steve Watson is about to hop onto the show, so we'll have him chime in a moment. We'll let him get settled, but just a great performance, great all-around performance. I'm glad to see it. I thought it was going to be another one of those weeks where I'm changing the channel at halftime and they're down by 20 at half and the game's over, but it certainly wasn't. It was a very exciting game. That was just a great all-around entertaining game. And hopefully there'll be a lot more of those to come. But we are going to.
I mean, after the Kendrick Bourne fumble, you had to think they were probably going to lose, right? Because
Yes.
you knew Buffalo was going to go down and score.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I mean, that team showed fight in those last couple minutes. That was a massive drive.
They did.
What a
They
drive
did
by
fight,
Mac.
Jared. I agree with you. They did show
Absolute
some
massive
fight.
drive by Mac. That was huge.
And we got Steve Watson here. Steve, glad you could join us. What is your reaction to that game on Sunday?
It was fantastic. Very unexpected. And good to see this team can actually play competent football for 60 minutes and find a way to win. The best win they've had in a long time. Best win at Gillette in probably years.
You missed all my kind words about Mac Jones because you joined us a little late. But Steve's having some internet issues. He's going to try to get those straightened out. But we will get more reaction from him, hopefully, as long as he could fix those internet issues. But we do need to move on to our Week 8 picks. We're going to go game by game, break them down, and give you our picks. Last week, it was not very good for any of us.
It was ugly. It was ugly.
Those games were
there was a lot of
horrible yesterday.
upsets.
Those games were atrocious.
Horrible.
14-7. Are you kidding me? 14-7. That game was awful.
That was bad. That was bad. Just Washington just was horrible in that game. I mean,
atrocious.
Yes.
Really
Yeah,
bad.
that
I'd
was,
love to hear Steve's thoughts on that. I know Steve loves Riverboat Ron, so I got to hear those thoughts.
yeah.
14-7. And yeah, Washington's so weird. I mean, there's games they'll put up like 30-something and their offense will look great, and then they'll have a game like that against the Giants.
They can't score more than 7 points against the Giants? I mean, come on.
I know. There's games like Sam Howell has looked really good. They have the receivers. Like, give me a break.
Well,
I mean, Terry McLaurin,
Howell's just set the record by far
receiver.
for getting sacked the most times in a season. Oh, man. He just gets slaughtered.
Right? And you
Not
had
good.
Denver beating Green Bay. That was another upset.
Game was horrible. Just horrible. I mean,
and then you have the Colts and the Browns with Gardner Minshew and PJ Walker QB combining for 77 points. That was the most ridiculous game of the day by far.
That game was unbelievable.
Unreal.
Yep. Well, hey, I think Indy is one of those teams you just don't know what you're going to get. They're very mediocre. They'll probably be around 500, but they're more competitive than they've been in the recent past, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So our records going into week 8 overall. Jared is up at the top, 60. Oh, let me tell you about last week first. All right. So Jared and I, along with Mike, went 6-6. Andy went 5-7. Steve went 4-8. So very ugly week for all 5 of us.
Bad.
Brutal.
And that just
brutal.
shows you how many upsets there were.
So if one of us doesn't win a game, are we like allowed back on the show here? Or I mean that wouldn't be good. Have to apply for reinstatement. I mean,
yeah, you got to come back on the show so we can make fun of you.
that is true. Yeah.
All right. So overall records: Jared is in first, 65-40. Mike is on his heels in second at 64-41. I'm sort of in there, falling quickly though. 61-44. Steve is 56-49. Andy is 53-52. All right. Thursday night football, week 8, Tampa Bay at Buffalo. This is a tough pick. Tampa, they had a rough loss to Atlanta. I think Buffalo is going to be steaming mad after losing to the Patriots, and I don't think Buffalo is a bad team. I think at the end of the day, they will be competitive. They will be in the playoffs, and they will finish with a good record. They go from almost losing to the Giants, losing to the Pats. Clearly, they have some issues to work out, but I think they'll work them out during this Tampa Bay game and take the victory over the Bucs. Let's see if Steve's internet is working. Steve, Tampa Bay at Buffalo. Who do you got?
It's not working great, but I want to go with the Bills. I think they bounce back. Tampa is just too inconsistent. That's what I'll just do it on that one. Not great the last few weeks either, but I'll go with the Bills in this one.
All right, he's got Buffalo. By the way, this is the first show of the season. All 4 of us have made it. Well, Steve's sort of here. Andy, who do you got?
Sorry. There we go. I'm going to go with the Bills. I don't think Tampa is this is a bad spot for them. Bad spot for the Bucs. I would be very surprised if the Bills lose this game.
All right, Jared.
Bills by a million. I think the Bills bounce back for sure.
Didn't you say Patriots were going to win by a million too?
I'm always taking the Bills by a million, yeah.
I think we all did pretty much. Even Steve picked Buffalo.
No, Steve is right. Tampa's just too inconsistent. You can't lose to the Falcons and then come back and expect to beat the Bills.
No.
All right. Going on to the Sunday games, we got Houston at Carolina. This Texans team, they are looking pretty competitive so far this year. They're playing some decent football. Carolina, not so much. Give me Houston here. Jared, who are you going with?
Houston. Carolina stinks.
All right, Andy.
That's it. Simple.
Jared's just straight to the point here. Yeah, I like this Texans team. I've been telling you for the last few weeks. They look good. I mean, they seriously might be a wild card team. It would not surprise me. Carolina's just going they're in a complete rebuild mode. There's a big spot though for the Texans. Like if they want to remain in that playoff race, they can't lose this game. But I think they'll take care of business Sunday.
All right, Houston across the board. And we'll get Steve's pick later. He's having some technical difficulties.
I would imagine Steve's going Houston there. There's no way he's picking Carolina. Let's be serious.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Most likely. All right, LA Rams at Dallas. The Rams, they had a pretty nice performance. Did they beat Pittsburgh? Oh, they ended up losing that game, but it was a good back and forth game. The Rams-Steelers game was pretty entertaining. But I'm going to go Dallas here. They're off a bye week, and they've had a rough couple of weeks. And coming off the bye week, I'm sure they had some time to work out some kinks, and I think they'll get back on the winning track here and take the victory over the Rams. Jared, who do you got?
Come on. Dallas. The Rams are not the same team without Kyron Williams at running back. He makes him kind of be able to kind of go to the pass, and Darrell Henderson or whatever is not Kyron Williams. I'm sorry. You know, you can have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, but yeah, I mean, Williams allows them to kind of go to the pass, and no, Dallas for sure.
Yeah, my fantasy team's not the same without Kyron Williams either. Andy, who do you got?
Taking Dallas. The Rams are too inconsistent. They just can't. I don't know what Rams team's going to show up. This is a bad spot for them. Dallas is coming off a bye. I think Dallas wins big here.
All right, moving on to Minnesota at Green Bay. Actually, we're not going to pick that one due to the fact we're recording this on Monday, and Minnesota is on Monday Night Football against the 49ers. By the way, we all picked San Francisco for that game, so we'll skip that one for now. New Orleans at Indy. New Orleans, they've struggled a little bit offensively. They do have a pretty solid defense, but they've been kind of back and forth. You know, I liked what I saw out of Indy offensively. I think they got something going here. I think this is going to be a close one, but give me Indy at home. Jared, who are you going with?
I am very tempted to pick a tie here. I think this is probably one of the more difficult picks of the weekend. But I'm going to go New Orleans here. Honestly, no reason why. Just gut instinct. This could go really either way. I think this is really 50-50.
All right, New Orleans, Andy.
I'm going to go with Indianapolis because I just don't trust the Saints. They're just, again, I keep saying this, consistency. They're just, one week they look good, the next week they don't, but the same can be said about Indianapolis. I mean, they kind of, I don't know. These are two teams that just don't seem like they really have any direction right now. Like they have some good players, but I don't know. But I'm going to take the Colts because they're at home.
All right.
That's why I think it's such a tough game to pick, because I think they're two very similar teams in terms of where they're at, their direction. Both can come alive. Both can crap the bed. I think it's a true toss-up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. I have no clue how that game's going to go, and no clue what New Orleans you're going to get, no clue what Indianapolis you're going to get. But I feel like Indy, they've had decent offense lately. They put up some points. All right, we'll save New England, Miami for the last of the 1:00 games. Let's move to the Battle of New York. New York Jets at New York Giants. Is anyone going with the Giants here?
No. Jets.
I didn't think so. I mean, the Giants have just shown pretty much nothing. Well, they beat Washington.
The Jets are better than Washington. I mean, this big spot for the Jets this week, though. This is a game they cannot afford to lose this game.
You know, and the Jets are another team. Everyone kind of wrote them off, but then they went and beat Philly, and they're in the mix. If they could keep pulling together wins like that, they're certainly in the mix, and that defense is just straight out nasty. All right, Jets across the board. Here's a good one. Jacksonville at Pittsburgh. I'm very torn on this one. Let's have Jared pick this one first.
I'm starting Jacksonville. Jacksonville's look really good. Travis Etienne is really coming alive. I like Trevor Lawrence in this game. He's got some targets. Christian Kirk is playing well. Jacksonville all day here.
All right, Andy, who do you got?
Agree with Jared. I'm going with Jacksonville. I just, the Steelers, they got a win last week, but it just, I don't think they're ready. They're not on Jacksonville's level. I think the Steelers are a little overrated. I don't think Kenny Pickett is anywhere near Trevor Lawrence right now. The Jaguars are really starting to emerge as a legit threat to win the AFC. I don't think they will, but they're definitely going in the right direction. They're very, very, very good football team. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, I expect big things from Jacksonville this season, but I feel like they could be a letdown. I don't know. Do we have Steve with us? I'm not seeing his video, but I do see he's there. All right. I'm going to assume he's still having issues. I'm going to
Yeah,
go.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. All right.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
do
here.
rapid fire through the 1:00 games with you in a moment, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Jacksonville here just because their offense has been on fire. Steve, who do you got? Jacksonville or Pittsburgh?
I like Jacksonville. They play this Thursday, so they're going to have a 10-day break. Pittsburgh is just too up and down. I have no idea how that team is 4-2. I really couldn't tell you.
All right. Well, we at least have his audio, so that's good. And it seems to be coming in clear.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Not our friends.
It's better than nothing. Atlanta at Tennessee. Andy,
Yep.
who do you got? Andy?
Oh, I'm sorry. Atlanta at Tennessee. Yeah. Who wants to watch this? Who seriously wants to watch
game? Give me a break.
Atlanta at
Oh my
Tennessee.
god.
Atlanta, Tennessee's bad. Like I know I've said this probably in the show before. I think Mike Vrabel's in trouble here. Like I just don't. This team is just completely plateau. They got to be probably the most boring team in the NFL. Is there anything that excites you about Tennessee?
Well, they had a
Mike
bye week.
Vrabel.
Steve's cutting out again. Well, we really got to get Steve some better internet. All right, so I'm just gonna go Tennessee just because I don't have confidence in either one of these teams, and Tennessee's off a bye week, and I'll just go with them because of that. Jared, who do you got?
I'm truly going with a tie here. This game is atrocious. I cannot pick this game. This game stinks. I'd be tempted to go Atlanta if I really had to pick, but this game is awful.
All right, I'll give you Atlanta.
All right.
Philly at Washington. Is anyone even going to touch Washington?
No.
Philadelphia.
This game.
All right, Philly across the board. All right, New England at Miami. Despite the fact that I loved what I saw from the Patriots against Buffalo, and I hope they play like that this week. If they do, they certainly will be competitive in this game. Miami just has too many weapons, and it's in Miami. Patriots always struggle there. Gotta go Miami. Andy, who do you got?
Taking Miami again. You just said it right, Tom. The Dolphins just have too many. The Patriots just never play well here. Yeah, they have won in Miami before, but the matchup just doesn't. It just doesn't add up. That the Dolphins, I think, win by probably a couple of scores. I just think. But again, who knows? Who knows? But I just don't like the Patriots in this matchup. And this has been a loss I've had circled on the calendar for a while, just because it's in Miami. They don't play well there.
All right, Jared.
Miami. That's it. That's all I got. It's easy. I don't know. Bad matchup for the Pats.
Jared's just straight to the point tonight. It's like
I like it.
Too many skill position players. Too many fast skill position players. We can't compete with that.
No.
Well, with the technological,
Not in Miami.
It's good that he's straight to the point. Steve, are you with us?
Yeah, I am. I think I am anyway.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Miami. I did like the Pats win yesterday. I think Dolphins are simply better at this point in time, and as Andy alluded to, the Patriots never do well in Miami for whatever godforsaken reason. They just don't seem to have success down there.
All right.
70-yard lateral. That says it all.
Yep.
No. Oh, that's bad memories, man. Bad memories.
That is without a doubt one of the worst things I have ever seen. Like in all places, it happens in Miami.
All right.
Well, of course it does. But hey, the Pats won it all that year, so
True. They did.
We're going to introduce a new segment to the show. Oh, go ahead, Andy. What were you going to say?
Gronkowski falling down like at the 5-yard line, and that was just the worst. I'm like,
All right, we're going to introduce a new segment of the show right now. It's called Rapid Fire Picks with Steve because he had technology problems. Steve, Houston at Carolina.
Houston.
All right. Rams at Dallas.
Dallas.
All right. New Orleans at Indy.
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I'm going to say the Saints.
Okay. Jets at Giants.
Jets.
I started writing Jets in before you even said anything. Atlanta at Tennessee.
Another tough one. I want to go with the Titans.
All right. Well, welcome to the Titans Club. Me and you both have the Titans. Philly at Washington.
Philly all day.
I don't even know why I asked you that one. All right, we'll move to the 4:00 games. Cleveland at Seattle. This is an interesting game. Two teams that you really don't know what you're going to get. Cleveland, I think Cleveland, they might be on the verge of becoming one of the elite teams in the AFC the way they've been playing, though. And Seattle, I think they're pretty good. I think these are both playoff caliber teams. It should be a good matchup, and it could end up being a really defensive battle, but for some weird reason, I just have a feeling it's going to end up being a shootout kind of game. And the interesting thing is with Cleveland, I feel like they've been better with the backup over Deshaun Watson. Who was it? PJ
Walker.
PJ Walker.
Been good.
Walker.
He has been good.
Yeah, I'm very torn on this one. So on that note, Andy, you could pick first.
Seattle, just because they're just tough at home. I think Cleveland kind of got bailed out by the refs last week with this Indy game, in my opinion. They have played better, but this is going to be a tough spot for them going into Seattle. They have not lost many games here. It might be close. It's probably going to be close, but Seattle pulls it out.
All right, Jared.
I think this is a weird game to pick because of you don't. How do I want to say it? I'm screwed. I'm going to Seattle. I'm going to Seattle. Tough at home.
Stay
Yeah.
to the stay
All right.
directly to the point, Jared.
Boom.
Steve,
done.
who are you going with? Steve?
I think it's going to with Seattle, though. It's tough to pick against them at home.
All right, I think you said Seattle. I'm going to go Seattle as well.
Seattle, yes. Seattle.
Because they are at home and they are very good at home. But I do think it'll be close. Cleveland, they've been playing pretty well.
Yeah.
So I think they will keep it close. And I wouldn't be surprised if that one's an upset either. All right.
By the way, Tom, I can't believe you actually asked Steve for his Philly Washington pick. You knew he was going to say Philly like 9,000 times out of 9,000. Given his stance on Riverboat Ron.
It was more to just make
You
sure
knew
his
it.
audio was still
You could have written
working.
Philly in from like 1,000 miles away.
If Philadelphia loses that game, that is just going to be so bad.
Done. I'm done. If Philly loses that game.
Imagine that. They lose to the Jets and then they lose to Washington.
Jeez.
That'd be so bad. Oh, man.
Then they still go to the Super Bowl. All right. Baltimore at Arizona. Baltimore, I think they're starting to get red hot. They just absolutely decimated the Lions last week. They were unbelievable. Lamar Jackson was just on another level. Will we get the same? I don't know, but Baltimore's looking good lately, so I'm going Baltimore here. Andy, who do you got?
How could anybody pick Arizona? This team is horrible. That is a team that is going nowhere. Nowhere.
Facts. Big facts.
Baltimore by who knows how much, but they're going to win.
Well, no one's going to pick Arizona now. Jared, who are you going with?
I'm going Baltimore like 56-0. Seriously.
Oh my God. Arizona's
Baltimore's
horrible.
Play calling this weekend was immaculate. I don't know if you guys saw the highlights. Their play calling was insane. Like they just had brilliant play after brilliant play designed. Like if you're doing that against the Lions, what are you going to do against the Cardinals? Jeez.
Oh, What a bad
Yeah,
weekend
of
for the
course,
Lions.
Gus Edwards finally has a couple touchdowns, and he's sitting on my bench because he hasn't done anything in 5 weeks. Steve, who?
Hey, that's bad managing, my friend. That's bad managing. Got
It
to
is
play better.
bad.
Got to coach better.
Yeah, it was horrible. Horrible fantasy football manager. Invisible Steve, who do you got?
I'm going to go with Baltimore here. That's a really impressive win they had yesterday over Detroit.
All right, Baltimore across the board. Kansas City at Denver. Anyone going Denver?
No.
No.
God,
Please,
no.
No shot.
All right. Steve, you're not going Denver, right?
Nope, absolutely not.
No.
All right, Cincinnati at San Francisco. We're going to hold off since the 49ers are on Monday Night Football. So we'll move down to Sunday Night Football. Chicago at the Chargers. I'm going Chargers here. I don't have a lot of faith in Chicago, although they did look good last week. They came out of nowhere to get a win and looked pretty impressive.
They smoked the Raiders.
Yeah, it was the Raiders, though, so it doesn't really count. So give me the Chargers. Jared, who do you got?
This pains me because I hate Brandon Staley so much, and you guys all know that, but I think I have to go with the Chargers here, although nah, screw it. Give me the Bears. Let's go pick of the week. Give me the Bears. Just because Staley is a dumbass. Oh, it's part of my language.
The Bears could get one over all of us here. Andy, who do you got?
Can somebody please explain to me how the Raiders gave up 30 points to the Bears? I am just so dumbfounded. Like, are you that bad? Unbelievable. And the Chargers, I can't take this team seriously. They look lost. Justin Herbert's going to be thinking, I have got to get out of this place because they are not going anywhere. Taking the Bears.
Wow. All right. Steve.
I'll go with the Chargers. Begrudgingly. And I think it's a disgrace that they kept this game on Sunday night. You should have flexed Seahawks and Browns.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, what?
the Bears, Chargers? Seriously?
Why would they even put this game on a Sunday night from the get-go? Makes no sense.
Yeah. The Bears weren't a very inspiring pick to begin with, and the Chargers, they're 2-4. They're not that good right now.
Yeah, I mean, both.
Wait, Andy, did you go with the Bears?
Rough.
I did. Yeah, I did take the Bears.
Yes. My internet cut out there for a second, but I thought I heard you go with the Bears, and I love it.
Yeah. Again, it's like they looked. I can't believe how the Raiders gave up 30 points to this team. I mean, that is an embarrassment. I mean, if I'm
because they're terrible, that's why.
I'm sorry.
Because the Raiders are terrible. That's why they gave up 30 points.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's a bad team, man. Wow,
That is a bad team.
How do you lose to the Raiders and then beat the Bills?
I mean, my
It's
goodness.
football.
Any given Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Monday Night Football. Speaking of the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders at Detroit Lions. I think the Lions, they're going to be kind of mad after last week. And I do think the Lions are for real. They just had a bad week. I think they make up for it in week 8 with a nice victory on Monday Night Football over the Raiders. Jared, who do you got?
Lions are going to do exactly to the Raiders what the Ravens just did to the Lions. Lions are going to come out, just go absolutely berserk. Give me like 75-0 there.
If that ends up being the score, I'm giving you a bonus win because that's
Excellent. Excellent. Love that.
Andy, who do you got?
Oh, please, the Lions. I mean, now they had a bad week. Don't get me wrong. They got bulldozed against the Ravens. Please, this game isn't even going to be close. That place is going to be amped up in Detroit. It's on Monday Night Football, and it's finally the Lions to be showcased because they don't get a lot of these games. But I'll tell you what, if they lose this game, ooh, that's not good. You know, this is a game they absolutely have to win.
All right. Invisible Steve, who do you got?
Lions by a bunch, and I will not be watching it. I'll be watching the Bruins and Panthers.
All right. Okay. Lions across the board, and probably be flicking around to both. Well, believe it or not, we are out of time, but we do have a little bit of time left for final thoughts. Steve, any final thoughts?
Great win by the Pats. I just hope they can keep it up. That was a good sign yesterday.
Absolutely. Jared.
Bruins look pretty good. A couple of nice wins on the West Coast the last couple of nights. Let it rip. Big season coming ahead.
Andy.
Didn't the Red Sox used to have a player by the name of Kyle Schwarber?
Yes.
What was wrong with him?
Nothing.
Because let me tell you something.
Zero.
Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper are probably becoming a dynamic duo right now in the postseason. These guys are crushing the ball. This was an absolutely terrible move by the Red Sox. He should still be on this team. This guy is a winner. He's been this way since he was with the Cubs, helping them in the World Series. He won here. I am just so steaming mad and so frustrated with this team and how many players they have let walk. Mookie Betts, Christian Vasquez, Andrew Benintendi, Nathan Eovaldi. The list goes on and on and on. People need to wake up. This team is going nowhere. Like, they had a World Series team in place, and they decided, nah, it's not that important. You can't get players like this. They just can't. I mean, you when you get a player like that, you have got to keep them. And I'm so sick and tired of this. Enough is enough. It's just really frustrates me.
They have bigger priorities than the Red Sox. They don't care anymore. That's what I think.
But Schwarber, he's a player. I mean, he's a player.
That's been a great series, Diamondbacks and Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
Really
it has been. The Phillies. And one real quick. Yeah, Dave Dombrowski. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's a great move for firing him, huh? Great move.
Yeah, Dave Dombrowski. The guy knows what he's doing. He's taken 3 teams to a World Series. 3.
4, actually.
Oh, 4. I'm sorry. Yeah.
4. Marlins, Tigers, Red Sox, and Phillies.
Unbelievable. But
he wasn't good enough for us, apparently.
Well, he knows what he's doing.
He does. And no one at Fenway Park does right now. Clown show.
I was at that Astros game on August 28th, and it was just, I have never seen so many boos and so many of opposing teams against the Astros. It was ugly. I mean, this is a low point. I mean, it just, there's no way you would have seen that 20 years ago. Not a chance.
No. They deserve it. And quite frankly, people should stop going to the games if the owners are going to do this. If they're going to get rid of every good player you get because they don't want to spend money, don't spend your money there. And once people start doing that, you'll be amazed at how fast things change when they're not making money anymore at these games. But as long as people keep going and spending money, and I think eventually they're going to stop. I think next year it could be rough for Red Sox ownership. I don't know if people are going to be so willing to go to the games. And they shouldn't be, because what the owners have done with this Red Sox team is a travesty. All right, my final thoughts. Go D-backs. And believe it or not, we are into the final week and a half or so of regular season play in most sports besides football, with the never mind, that's playoffs coming up. So yeah, everything's in the playoffs now in the next couple of weeks. But Hiller girls soccer, they have 3 more games left. And we'll be at 2 of them since they will be home for their final 2 games. Can they run the table? You'll have to tune in to find out what an amazing season they are having. And also, congratulations to Camille Perlov of Hiller Field Hockey, who got her 50th career goal last week. An amazing accomplishment. Such a talented player. And we are looking forward to following the Hiller teams for the rest of the season and into the postseason. Pretty much everyone is going to make the postseason. We'll have field hockey in there, boys soccer, girls volleyball. They should all have pretty good seeds as well. So it should be a lot of fun. To find out where we will be, head over to our website, hcam.tv. We have the broadcast schedule up there, and you can see the times and links to the games that we will be streaming. But for Invisible Steve, Jared Keene, Andy Barron, I'm Tom Nappy. This has been HCAM Sports Talk. As always, we thank you for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody. Your screen. Westwood in the visiting whites with the green numbering and lettering. The Hillers in their alternate orange jerseys with the white numbering as the kickoff will sail up the near side of the 15-yard line. Here comes the return, and it's going to be a good one. Taken to the 40, still pushing his way forward. And a nice return by Sam Pantera to get things going for the Hillers. Bender and Quinn Keeler, those two were the stars of that game last week.
Right.
Play action, throws up the middle, it's caught. 40, 35 to the 30, and brought down along the near side, close to the 25-yard line. And hauling it in that time was Christian Pereira.
Whether it was Bellafato or Fossbender.
And it's Fossbender getting the call here, the 10 to 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillers! A 19-yard touchdown run by the big man, Cooper Fossbender. Fake, and taking it to the near side is Buenatello, and he's brought down, so a broken extra point attempt there. Out of the gun, and it's going to be another run. Toddy up the middle, first down plus some. Inside the 30 he goes.
Cody on the left of Hunt.
Hunt out of the gun, takes the snap, looks to his left, throws to his left, it's caught. Ooh. And did he stay in? Yes, he did. An 11-yard touchdown reception by Thomas Warren. Snap, kick, and it is good. Takes the snap, and Bellafato dropped the football, and I believe Westwood may have it, and they do. Hunt out of the gun, takes the snap up the middle, it's caught, and he's going to take it to the 30, the 20, towards the 15. He's brought down inside the 15.
The clock run out, perhaps.
They will indeed. They'll let the clock run out, and at the end of the first quarter, it is Westwood at 7, the Hillers 6, but the Wolverines are threatening. Out of the gun, and he is going to hand it off again, and this time it's Martucci, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown of the game. And the extra point is good. Handling the kicking duties, that is Oliver Gannon. And they're going to try to onside it. And did they recover?
Yes.
It looks like they did. Going to line up about 3 yards out this time. Hands it off up the middle. That's going to be more than enough. And Westwood signaling he got into the end zone, and he did. Touchdown. Dante Martucci, a 6-yard touchdown run. And now for the extra point, Thomas Warren, and he puts it right through. And just like that, it's 21-6, Westwood leading the Hillers.